Hi, I am Remy, co-founder and CEO of AQUANZO, and we farm marine ingredients. So when I was 7 years old, I decided I wanted to work with fish, and I've been able to do that my entire career for now. And through 20 years in different universities as well as institutes, I learned that aquaculture is fundamental to feed the planet. The problem that we have is that aquaculture is still fundamentally dependent on fisheries. And in the next, and in the next 15 years, the amount of fish meal, so the 20%, sorry, let me start again. 20% of all the 20% of all the fish that are harvested from the ocean do not go to human consumption, they go to make marine ingredient, an essential ingredient for the aquaculture industry. And the problem is that in the next 40 years, we will have to double the amount of marine ingredient that are available to support the sustainable development of aquaculture. Now, there's just simply not enough fish left in the sea to support that. And this is where AQUANZO is coming in. We are pioneering the transition of marine ingredient from harvesting to farming. If we can farm marine ingredient, we are not limited by the carrying capacity of the ocean, and we can produce locally when needed, where needed. We have identified a small marine zooplankton, Artemia, closely related to krill, as fundamental for this transition. And so, basically, to summarize, we're developing technologies to grow tiny shrimp in really big tanks on land at scale using agricultural byproducts to support the sustainable development of aquaculture without harming the sea. This is a win for the fish. We are making ingredients that are going to taste better. This is an advantage over other alternative ingredients. It is a win for the farmer. Better tasting food means higher performances in the fish and less waste, and it's a win for the environment because we're using agricultural byproduct and reducing pressure on the sea. We have an amazing team surrounding us, ranging from genetics to feedstock as well as engineering. We have been able to produce several kilos of marine ingredients in Artemia meal that we have tested in fish, and we're in the process of scaling up to a mobile unit system and then to the first pilot scale facility. We have amazing partners also around us. We have raised over €1 million of equity as well as grants. We are basically going to be raising our next round in 2024. And we are looking at the Portuguese ecosystem to move towards the first pilot scale facility producing marine ingredients. Thank you very much for your time.
Hi, thank you. I have a question. To feed Artemia, are you using just agriculture byproducts or also including some of marine byproducts?
So right now, we have started with entirely terrestrial, cereal-based agricultural byproduct. So rice bran is our kind of standard, which is extremely cheap and extremely available. But we have also looked at local, so we're in Scotland. We obviously dealt with for example, distillery byproduct, the yeast, which is here. There's also breweries, and we've had very great success in production. And we're investigating a very wide range. Those organisms are filter feeders, and whatever you put in the water, they will eat. They might not grow, but we have found some that do not work.
Two questions. First, on the nutritional profile of Artemia versus the krill, for example, as you've shown the example. Can you elaborate a bit on that? And also regarding fish preference for that source, is there any indicative of any bottleneck there?
Yeah. So first, a nutritional profile, we see actually being able to tailor the nutritional profile of our end product as an advantage. So obviously, if we feed them cereal byproducts, there will not be omega-3. However, we have tested some feedstock which do give them omega-3 and not the one you might think of. So we have the potential to actually tailor marine ingredient. Currently, you get what you get from the sea. Sorry, the second question.
So meal preference. So
Yes. So right now, actually, as of yesterday, our Artemia meal arrived in Portugal, and we are about to formulate diet and test it in larval sea bream and evaluate this gain in performances and preference. We have done a test, 2 preliminary tests where the fish liked it, and there was actually positive gain in survival as well as in growth.
I can continue.
Thank you. One of the issues of the sector is the huge demand. For you to be able to be a really good supplier of the fish feed producers, you have to be a huge producer as well. How do you plan to reach that point?
So ideally, we get to a point where we can actually supply. We will not replace fish meal. If it's harvested sustainably, it is a great way to get marine ingredients. We all have a role to play, and we want to be able to increase the availability of marine ingredient. Currently, it is completely limited. By farming it, we have the possibility to increase. So we are ideally going to move to industrial scales type of farming systems. However, this will come in the medium term. We're starting with low volume, high margin, like baby fish diets, obviously, which are the most important to set the life, starting with shrimp in Europe, as well as sea bass and sea bream and seriola, like the novel species in aquaculture. And then we're going to move to other type of diets.